Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland BROWNS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Browns this season, you know that it's been a roller coaster of emotions. After their dominant win in Week 7 over the Miami Dolphins, there's a lot of optimism in Cleveland. I mean, the way they played, the way they controlled that game, it really showed what this team is capable of when firing on all cylinders. But as always with the Browns, the big question lingers. Who's going to be the long-term answer at quarterback? That's been the burning issue since Deshaun Watson's injury, and even with that victory, it's still the elephant in the room. Deshaun Watson, the guy who took Cleveland by storm when he arrived, has been sidelined since Week 7 due to a torn Achilles. It's a tough blow, no doubt, but Watson himself seems to be approaching his recovery with a lot of confidence. Before his injury, Watson was showing flashes of his former self, reminding everyone of the talent that made him one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the league. But since then, fans have been clamoring for Deshaun Sanders to get a shot as the starter, especially considering how well he's been playing in recent weeks. Sanders has definitely captured the imagination of Browns fans with his talent and poise, but Watson, even out of action, remains a significant figure in this quarterback puzzle. And why not? Watson has an impressive resume. He's been a Pro Bowler. He's shown he can be a franchise quarterback, and his talent is undeniable. Some fans and insiders speculate that once he's healthy, he might get another shot to lead this team, possibly even over Dillon Gabriel or Sanders. That's a big statement considering the excitement around Sanders and his potential to be the future, but Watson's confidence remains unwavering. Earlier this month, Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski made it clear that there's no set timetable for Watson's return. That's not surprising, given the nature of Achilles injuries and how much they can vary from player to player. But what is clear is that Watson is doing everything he can to get back on the field. In fact, Watson himself has been quite vocal about his mindset during this recovery process. On Friday, Browns quarterback coach Bill Musgrave shed some light on Watson's mental state, saying that the quarterback still believes he has a lot of tread left on his tire. That phrase is pretty telling, isn't it? It shows that even after a tough injury and some tough times in Cleveland, Watson remains confident enough to believe he can still be a difference maker at the NFL level. That kind of mindset is crucial for a player trying to come back from injury, especially when the spotlight is so bright and the pressure is immense. Watson's stint in Cleveland has been a bit of a mixed bag so far. When he arrived, there were high expectations. Many believed he could be the guy who would elevate this franchise back into Super Bowl contention. But injuries, inconsistent performances, and a few setbacks have complicated that journey. Still, the talent is there. Watson looked like a superstar in the making at times, and it's no secret that he has the ability to turn games around almost single-handedly. His athleticism, arm strength, and improvisational skills have always been his calling cards, and Cleveland fans have seen glimpses of that brilliance. The question now is whether he can fully recover, regain his form, and slot back into the Browns' offense with the same effectiveness he once had. The coaching staff and front office are undoubtedly hopeful, but they're also cautious. The Achilles injury is no joke, and rushing a player back can sometimes do more harm than good. That's why the no timetable stance from Stefanski makes sense. Patience is key here. The Browns don't want to rush Watson back and risk making the injury worse, but they also know how crucial his return could be if they want to make a deep playoff run this season. Now, speaking of the team's current situation, the Browns have been performing well overall. Their defense has been solid, and their running game continues to be a strong suit, with players like Nick Chubb leading the charge. But no matter how good the defense or the running game is, the offense's success often hinges on the quarterback's performance. That's why Watson's return is such a significant storyline. If he comes back healthy and ready to lead, the Browns could be a real threat in the AFC. But if he's sidelined longer, or if he struggles to find his rhythm again, Cleveland might have to rely on Dillon Gabriel or even younger options like Deshaun Sanders, who has shown promise but still needs more time to develop. It's worth noting that Watson still believes he can impress the coaching staff when he gets back on the field. Rumors and reports suggest that he's staying motivated, working tirelessly behind the scenes, and maintaining that strong mental attitude. That's crucial because, as we all know, confidence can sometimes be half the battle in the NFL. If Watson is mentally prepared, physically healthy, and ready to go, he could very well be the difference maker the Browns need to push further into the postseason. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. The AFC North is a brutal division this year. The Baltimore Ravens are having a spectacular season. The Cincinnati Bengals are always dangerous, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have been resilient. Cleveland's path to a Super Bowl isn't just about their own roster and performance. It's about navigating this tough division and making sure they're at their best when the playoffs arrive. Watson's potential return could tip the scales, giving Cleveland that extra edge they've been missing at quarterback. Now, I want to give you a little more context about the Browns' season so far. They've shown incredible resilience and ability to compete at a high level, even amidst some injuries and questions at the quarterback position. Their defense has been a bright spot, with players like Myles Garrett leading a fierce pass rush that can disrupt any offense. The running game, powered by Nick Chubb, has been a consistent force, helping to control the clock and keep defenses honest. But the quarterback position remains the X factor. If Watson can return to form, he could elevate this team to another level, turning close games into wins and giving the Browns a real shot at making a deep playoff run. When we look at Watson's journey from his injury to now, it's clear that he's got the mindset of a competitor. His belief that he's got a lot of tread left on his tire shows that he's not ready to give up or settle for less. He's determined to prove doubters wrong, to show that he's still that elite quarterback capable of leading Cleveland to glory. That kind of mental toughness is exactly what the Browns need to push through the challenges ahead. It's also interesting to see how the team and coaching staff are handling the situation. They're taking it slow, prioritizing Watson's health above all else, which is the smart move. The NFL is a marathon, not a sprint, and rushing Watson back before he's 100% could jeopardize his career and the team's season. But the fact that he's in the mix, actively working toward his return, keeps the hope alive for Browns fans dreaming of a playoff push and maybe even more. And of course, fans are eager to see what happens when Watson finally steps back onto the field. Will he look like his old self? Will he be able to lead Cleveland into the postseason with that spark and confidence we saw in the past? Those are the questions everyone is asking right now. The Browns are in a really interesting position, on the brink of potentially making a big leap if Watson returns healthy, but also facing the reality that his absence has already impacted their season in some ways. Looking ahead, the next few weeks will be critical. The team's medical staff, coaching staff, and Watson himself will all be working tirelessly to determine when he's ready. And if he does come back, the impact could be monumental, not just for Cleveland, but for the entire AFC playoff picture. It's a story that's still unfolding, and as Browns fans, we have every reason to stay optimistic and excited about what's to come. So as we continue to follow this story, remember that the Browns have always been a team full of resilience and potential. With Watson's confidence and the team's talent, there's no telling how far they can go if everything falls into place. We'll keep you updated on his progress, on the team's performances, and on everything else happening around Cleveland Browns territory. This season is far from over, and the best might still be ahead. Keep your eyes peeled, Browns fans, because big things are on the horizon. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on Deshaun Watson's recovery and his potential return? Do you believe he's still the franchise quarterback Cleveland needs? Or are you leaning more towards Shedeur Sanders stepping in sooner rather than later? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. Remember, this team is built on passion and resilience, and your voice is part of that story. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with even more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. We're all in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for this team. Thanks for sticking with us, Browns fans, and as always, keep the faith. Cleveland's got a bright future, and we're going to be right here, guiding you through every twist and turn of this incredible season.